Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we are taking a metaphorical tour of your very own karmic inventory. We're zooming right in on Chapter 4 of Sadhguru's work, and listen, if you think you already know how karma works, well, this chapter might just shift your entire perspective. We are going to explore how human personality is actually shaped by a vast, and I mean vast, reservoir of memory. Let's start things off with a pretty provocative thought. Imagine for a second that you are constantly carrying this massive, completely invisible warehouse on your back. It's filled with these floor-to-ceiling shelves, absolutely stacked with boxes of information, and honestly, the crazy part is you probably didn't even know you packed most of them. It's kind of like the ultimate cosmic hoarding situation. Every single time you walk into a room, meet a new person, or, even just sit quietly, this invisible warehouse is just operating in the background, subtly dictating how you perceive the entire world. You aren't just some blank slate experiencing life. You are a highly complex, walking storage facility. Look, to really understand this warehouse, we first need to completely shatter the mainstream misconception of karma. Because usually, we think of it as this external system of rewards and punishments, right? Like some cosmic ledger maintained by a divine chartered accountant who's going to send you to paradise or some netherworld of suffering based on your deeds. But Chapter 4 just totally tears that idea down. It replaces it with the reality that karma is deeply ingrained biological and energetic memory. It is a massive storehouse of accumulated information. So it's really not about good or bad at all. It's strictly about what is stored inside and how that specific storage drives your daily life. So what do the ancient yogis actually call this invisible warehouse? Well, they use a very specific Sanskrit term, sanchita. Sanchita literally translates to accumulated karma, and it serves as the official name for this massive warehouse of memory behind every single individual. You can think of Sanchita basically as your ultimate hard drive. And we're not just talking about your conscious memory here, like, remembering what you had for breakfast yesterday or your childhood phone number. No, this is the sum total of accumulated memory that forms the very foundation of your existence. And this really brilliantly illustrates how your karma isn't just some abstract tally of actions. As Sadhguru notes here, we carry this enormous volume of information with us all the time. The text points out that while the exact quantity might vary from person to person, every single human being carries this phenomenal karmic inheritance. I mean, you are literally built from it. It travels with you into absolutely every moment of your life, shaping your reactions, your tendencies, and your emotional responses. It is literally the ultimate backstage director of the play that is your life. Right, so what exactly is the inventory taking up all this space inside this massive warehouse of ours? How is it all categorized and organized? Well, the yogic system, which is incredibly precise and clinical about all this, doesn't just lump it all into one big messy pile. Instead, it categorizes this karmic memory into exactly 8 distinct layers. When we map out the specific inventory of your sanchita, we uncover these 8 distinct memories of memory that literally make up your existence. We're talking about everything from elemental memory, which are the very building blocks of earth and water, to atomic, evolutionary, and genetic memory that's literally imprinted on your DNA. Then you add your individual karmic, sensory, articulate, and inarticulate memories right on top of that. The ancient sages map this all out with incredible intellectual precision. Now, you don't have to memorize these 8 categories to decode your karma, but just seeing them broken down like this gives you a much richer understanding of how complex and multidimensional your existence actually is. Half of these are collective memories and half are completely, entirely individual to you. Now, even if you find yourself a bit overwhelmed by these dense classifications, don't worry, because the crucial point is embedded right here in Sutra 4. However unconscious it is, everything that comes into memory leaves a certain linkage. Think about the sheer gravity of that statement for a second. Everything you experience leaves a linkage in your warehouse. You do not have to be consciously paying attention for an event, an interaction, or even just a subtle environment to leave a permanent imprint on your system. It's kind of like how the faint smell of a specific perfume can just instantly trigger a super vivid childhood memory, right? That is a linkage at work. Your sanchita is constantly expanding with these linkages, creating the completely unique programming that dictates how you operate in the real world. So you might be wondering, why are we taking this extensive, highly technical tour of your karmic inventory? Like, why does the structure of this warehouse actually matter to your daily life? Well, understanding this warehouse isn't just some academic exercise, it is a highly scientific approach to unblocking emotional impasses within your human system. Look, if you don't know what's in the warehouse or how it gets packed in the first place, you are completely at the mercy of its unconscious linkages. But once you understand the mechanics of Sanchita, you finally step into the driver's seat. You stop being a victim of your automatic reactions and start realizing that, hey, you can actually systematically unpack and address these blocks. And all of this builds perfectly to our ultimate goal in managing Sanchita, which the yogic system calls Chitta Vritti Nirodha. This essentially translates to freeing your consciousness from those incredibly frustrating fluctuations and bottlenecks. See, when your warehouse is totally full of unconscious linkages, your energy just gets stuck. Your emotions hit dead ends. Your mind fluctuates wildly based on old karmic programming. By understanding your Sanchita, you are actively working toward Chitta Vritti Nirodha. You are promoting a state where your consciousness is finally liberated from the relentless push and pull of accumulated memory, which allows you to experience life clearly, exactly as it is, without the heavy, distorted filter of the past. To wrap up our explainer today, I really want to leave you with this lingering thought. You are carrying the great karmic warehouse, a phenomenal inheritance made up of 8 membranes of memory. The linkages are there, and they are constantly shaping your reality. But remember, karma is absolutely not your enemy. It is the very basis of human existence. The real key is simply how you handle it. So take a moment and look inward. Now that you are fully aware of the sheer volume of information operating behind the scenes, how might you start actively liberating your consciousness right now? What unconscious linkage will you choose to acknowledge and unblock first? Keep that question in mind as you navigate the world today.